Then you wait 2 to 4 days in between every coat of primer. Sand it off, trying to fill the grains. One quick tip before you use a oil-based paint is to go ahead and place it in a hot thing of water. That way it can be preheating. This is before you add any reducers or hardeners, etc. into it, because any oil-based product will the viscosity will change when it's warmed up versus when it's cold, and you don't want to add any more reducer than you absolutely have to, because that'll do two things. It'll make it where it takes longer to dry, and it will kill any of the shine the more you add. All your paints over there being reduced down by heat to spray better and to flow out better. Just take that time, good 20-30 minutes, to go ahead and mask off anything that you need to mask off, and go ahead and get your station prepped and everything ready to go. My room in there preheating. It's not that cold this afternoon, but I want to warm it up anyways. I don't know if you can hear that. Before, the paint, you could barely hear it moving around, and now it's just moving around very easily. The mistake is they don't pre-warm their paint. They only warm it after they've added all their stuff. This is straight out of the can, and look how fast this runs off. Pre-warmed. So the least amount of reducer you can add to any type of paint, especially oil-based, the better the outcome. Like I said, I have that preheat the wood. Just go ahead and tack everything off and make sure it's dust free. I'm going to turn that off when I start spraying because I don't want it to blow any dust onto the project. There's my test panel, the wall, but I'm using my Setajet 1.4 tip at 1 bar. It sounds loud because I have an air leak. A lot depends. Here, I'm trying to get. This is just the first coat, obviously, and this is just texture of the wood. For the most part, a lot depends on the size tip of your gun. I think that's where the issue most people get confused on is why they can't spray, why it doesn't flow out after it sprays. Like how I just sprayed this, it's sprayed out really itemized, but it will also self-level because it's warm. And I added a hardener to it. I want it to be a little more durable, and it should stay this glossy. I don't know if you can see it or not in the camera. I'm trying to get it, which it'll be more glossy before it's done. But the confusion comes in when you're not using the correct size tip for the viscosity you need. What I have found is a cheap Amazon gun with a 2.4 tip is the best for oil-based paint, and you do not have to reduce it. All you have to do is warm it up a little. Unreduced oil base, so much more durable than something that's been reduced. It also feels the scratches and say like wood grains like this, it'll help feel them better. That's not what I'm going for here. I want to keep some of this wood grain effect. You'll see the finish when it's all done. But like I say, the size tip of your gun is the issue. This is just my spray everything gun. I don't keep it maintained like I do all my others because I'm spraying oil base through it, so who cares, right? Let's say it's just a Cytojet NR2000. You can pick them up fairly cheap. I was doing my test panels here on the wall until I finally got it spraying where I wanted it at the right PSI. But select the biggest tip you can find, up to a 2.4, that is. Anything smaller than that, you're just going to have to keep reducing your paint down, reducing it until you can finally fit it through the needle and spray out fast and efficient. Because if you're not spraying fast, you're not putting it on thick enough. And for furniture, you really need those thick coats. Obviously we're going to wait in between coats before I put another one on. And I'm going to wait till it feels dry to the touch without leaving paint before I put the second coat. Quick tip, put your lacquer thinner or your whatever, your cleaner in a squirt bottle. I tried to do it with two hands. I can't do it to show you, but use a squirt bottle to clean the paint off your gun. Obviously, I'd be pulling the trigger, spraying it down in there, and not doing it until it's clear. But for the exterior of your gun, it just makes life so much more simple. Also, I almost forgot. I was not happy with how glossy. I didn't like the high gloss of that color. So I am force drying it, which should, we'll see, it should make it dye back almost to a matte finish or a semi-gloss, which is what I was going for. I didn't realize that was going to be so glossy. I wanted to counteract versus the top versus the bottom. It needs to flow, and high gloss top, high gloss bottom does not flow to me. I want the top to stand out, which will make the bottom need to be a lesser of a sheen. So I'll let you know how it turns out. Alright guys. Today is Wednesday. I'm getting pretty sick. Or not Wednesday, today's Tuesday. Getting pretty sick. Went to the doctor and they diagnosed me with the flu, but this is dried pretty good. It dried to kind of semi-gloss, not near as glossy as the top, which is what I wanted. This table is pretty cool. Now all I gotta do is finish the bottom, the legs on it. But I wanted y'all to see the outcome of that paint, your oil base paint. This is gonna be a family heirloom, I think. That's why I put so much time and effort into it. Pretty cool little coffee table though. That bow concerns me a little bit, but you know, it might be alright. We want this to look vintage, so I don't know that I'm going to try to plane that out. I'm going to leave it. We'll see. It dried to kind of semi-gloss. Not near as glossy as the top, which is what I wanted.